Hey everybody, welcome here to my channel, Paul the Witch. I want to discuss today my experiences with witchcraft during the meditations, the grounding, the spell work, just to give you a general insight of where I am in my practice, how it affects me in my daily life, and how it is with working with Hecate. A little bit of background, my name is Paul. I was always curious about witchcraft. Since an early age, my aunt was Wiccan. She gave me a book so I can, research and just gain knowledge of it. However, I messed with the Ouija board and she took it away. So, which understandably so. No hate, I get it. Probably shouldn't have done it. I was fasting. Fast forward till last year. I had a fire in this house. We were displaced. I was in a very toxic relationship at the time as well, and it just broke me down basically to my core. I was pretty much at my lowest point. After the dust settled, we had moved back in, and I gained some clarity and insight about everything. I was no longer a part of that relationship. Everything in the house just had settled down, and as the dust settled, I realized Hecate was reaching out to me. Right through repeated numbers to snakes in my yard, which were never there before, seeing stray dogs all over the place, which never happened around here at the time. So realizing that she was reaching out to me, I started working with her because she chooses you. You don't really call out to her. If she wants to work with you, she will let you know that she is calling out to you. So ever since then, I have basically been stripped down to my core, dealing with a lot of shadow work and a lot of inner things that I thought I was over, but I was really not. And it strips you to your core when you're working with Hecate. Not because she wants to break you down and ruin you, but because she wants to break you down and build you back up to your fullest potential. So she gives you guidance throughout the entire process, and there's still your choices that you have to make. It's not, she does it for you. She shows you the way, but you have to make the decisions on your own. Whether it be right or wrong, it's a decision that you're gonna make, and you're gonna have to deal with the consequences of it, whether it is a bad decision or not. So this is about last year. I started working with Hecate and finally diving into witchcraft, and finally realizing that this is the path I needed to be on and going forward with that. First and foremost, started doing protection spells, because that is the groundwork for everything that you do. You always have to have your protections on. You always have to do protection magic before any kind of work you do, because you don't want to invite in any unwanted energy or any unwanted spirits or any of that. So protection magic is key. Always have the protections on. The first spells I did were all protection magic, and they worked. Started doing protection magic, and I'll say a lot of people that I thought were in my corner all of a sudden decided to not be in my corner anymore. So that worked. A lot of people who I thought were my friends and supported me just stopped basically giving a shit. So it showed me a way, in a way, it showed me it was protecting me from people who weren't really in my corner. They weren't really there for me, and that was amazing for me. I thought that was really cool. I also started to meditate with Hecate, just sitting at the altar with the candles and the incense and everything. And those are starting to get really intense. Recently I was doing a meditation, and I had felt like I went into kind of like a trance in the meditation, I guess. And someone I know had come through who had passed several years ago and told me to pass on a message to someone, which I had then did. So that was happening a little bit more and more. Normally that would freak people out, or normally maybe years ago that would have freaked me out, but it didn't. I thought it was actually really cool to be able to communicate with someone who had passed and is no longer with us. So that was really cool. And it also gave that person that I had to send a message to some kind of closure and some kind of, I guess they were having a bad couple of days or a bad couple of weeks, and the person had told me that they really needed to hear it, which made me feel good because it made spirit feel good. So that was really nice. So why I started witchcraft, I always felt a calling to it. I always felt nature was a calming place for me. I was never really, I mean, I went to church. I went to a private school for about 5 years, I think. Yeah, 5 years. And it kind of wasn't really my cup of tea, if you really catch my drift. So a lot of weird shit happened there, and it just felt off being there. I also started because I just felt like it was the right path for me to go to. And everyone thinks, or a lot of people think, I'm not going to generalize everyone, a lot of people think that witchcraft is evil, and you know, you're sitting here summoning demons and, you know, working with all these bad entities and stuff, and you're not. It's basically you're coming into your inner power. You're realizing your full potential into what you are capable of. And I fuck with that. I think that's a great thing. I think having the self-confidence and knowing that you're answering to yourself is a great thing. I think it's good. A lot of times people have this misconception of, oh, witchcraft is evil. You're sacrificing animals and you're doing all this crazy shit. And I mean, you're not. I mean, for the most part, it's a lot of reading. It's a lot of meditating. It's a lot of grounding. We do spells, yeah. I mean, of course we do. Protection magic, baneful magic, you know, glamour magic. It's all there, you know. But for the most part, it's a lot of reading. It's a lot of meditating. It's a lot of centering yourself so you're more one with yourself and knowing yourself and knowing what you're capable of and all that self growth. That's my takeaway from it. I don't really have to answer to anybody but myself, so there's nothing else there but me. You know, it's my power. It's my stuff, my magic. For now, that's probably what I'm going to talk about. I have done a couple of spells that hit. I did a protection spell for somebody. I'd say 3-4 months ago, and she got back to me after a little while, I guess about a week or so, or 2, and they told me that it worked, that they were safe and everything was good, everything was hunky-dory, and she was fine, and that it worked. And so yeah, those are certain experiences for me for now, and I will try to give more insight and everything about what it is I do and why I work with Hecate. Another reason why I started is I always felt that there was something more out there to be known and to just gain knowledge from. There was something more to myself than just going to work every day or going to school every day or what have you. There's something more to yourself than just what you think. You can always tap into your potential of your higher self, and witchcraft and working with Hecate has definitely helped me grow into that and helped me realize that there is something more. There's always something more. There's something more to do. There's something more to know. There's something more to feel. So it's another reason why I kind of started doing this as well. It was mainly a calling. I also used to see my abuela. She used to have a statue. Now I was young. I don't know what she was doing until years later. She had a statue somewhere. I think it was on her kitchen table at sometimes. She used to blow a cigar smoke in it, burn some incense. She used to sage and all this stuff. I always thought that was really cool. I always wondered what she was doing. I don't know what kind of spell work she was doing or whatever, but I will say she was never without money. She always had 40 bucks on her at least every day, which was kind of cool. Mom used to sage and stuff and burn incense and all this good stuff, and I always was drawn to it at an early age, which is what sparked my curiosity, which is why I did research when I was younger with the invention of the internet, you know, research with witchcraft and the occult and all this stuff, and just feeling spirits around me. And it was kind of crazy for a little while, because I remember one night we were sleeping, or my roommate was sleeping, not me, because I was awake. I felt something tugging at the door, and I got up to go check the door, and there was nothing there. It felt very malicious, and did not feel like anything was coming and be like, hey, how's it going? No, it felt bad. However, there was nothing there. I probably shouldn't have checked anyway, but you know, know better, do better, right? And I've always felt drawn to spirits and the underworld. And let's enter Greek mythology. When we got older and into high school and started researching this stuff and reading Edith Hamilton's mythology book, and then you go online and you start typing up, you know, Greek gods and all this stuff. So I was always drawn to that with the deities and the Olympians and the stories and the history of all that. I always thought that was cool. So I was kind of always drawn to this spiritual stuff, and then I think it's a cool thing. I think it's a great thing. It's a little bit about myself and a little bit why I started and when I started, and like I said in the beginning of the video, most of my videos are going to be through my experiences with the spell work I've been doing and the what-nots to do when you're doing this. So I hope you guys enjoy, and I hope we can interact and we can grow together. And no hate, you know, everyone's magic is their own. I'm not going to sit here and say that you're wrong doing something, or you're wrong doing something, or you should do it this way. No, we don't do that here, okay? Your magic is your own. Now, there are some, you know, stapled rules of, hey, don't do this, and hey, don't do that, and you shouldn't be saying this, and you shouldn't be saying that, and I get that. But however, we're here to learn from each other. We're not here to judge anybody. We save that for the other kind of religions, even though this is not a religion, it's a path. Just remember, we don't judge other people's workings. We don't judge other people's craft. We can learn from each other, you know, learn do's and don'ts and what works best with what. And oh shit, I did this spell and it didn't work, and you tried the same thing and you used different stuff. Maybe I can learn from you. Maybe I can try it differently. Let's do that instead of gatekeeping shit and just getting mad at each other. Okay, there's too much of that going around. Don't need it. Let's stay together. Let's learn from each other. Let's grow. Okay, so that's it for me for now. I will talk to you all on the next one. Later. And fuck V-Shred.